Good morning, Claudia. Lovely to see you. Thanks for joining.
Good morning, Tess. Nice to see you in France, in Val
Yeah, in Val d'Isere, in the chalet that's brought us together actually, and that we're here to talk about this morning. Just as a little intro, I suppose, to how you and I know each other. Um, so this chalet, I think I brokered the deal back in 2021 or 22, and then we met through the new owners.
Yes, I came to see the chalet first in 22 on a beautiful summer trip in August. I had a look around the whole building for a couple of days, and then we planned the project.
And would you normally do that? Would you normally go and spend that much time in a property?
It's very helpful, especially on a big house, and that's abroad. So yes, we would always set up, at least a 1 day or 2 day visit. Um, this was going to be a substantial project, so it is worth really spending time with the owners, really getting to know the property, seeing the location, seeing the light, really talking to everyone involved to find out what they want to do with it, and also to gain a really good understanding of the house.
Okay.
So we knew that we wanted a colourful, comfortable interior with, really high quality furniture and furnishings and very good lighting. The chalet atmosphere was still supposed to stay traditional, the structure of the building, the wood, the scale of the rooms, the beautiful beams that you can see behind you. There were a lot of things that were never going to change, because this is an older building and has a wonderful heritage and looks very traditional. But there were a lot of little things, wrong with it that didn't work properly for modern living. And we're not just talking about looks, but also the clients were keen to improve the kind of luxury that you don't see, but you can feel and experience. So lighting, heating, air circulation, quality of materials. And really important were the bedrooms and bathrooms, but also the kitchen. And then we decided quite quickly that we would need to do a little bit of an extension. The footprint of this property was limited. And, as is the case with a lot of properties in a mountain setting, you have limited planning restrictions of what you could extend. But we found some very clever ways of just extending the right amount of space to gain us that extra living comfort that the clients wanted to achieve.
And I suppose, it's got to function as a family home as well as being luxurious and having the feel.
I'm very fortunate in that, this particular family, they like colors, they like art, they like really nice furnishings. And so we were able to introduce very gently, some bolder fabrics and just some materials that really, really create an interest. And we had some really great fun with designing the bedroom schemes and bathroom schemes. And I think, it has turned, from the outside and from the bones of the building, it is still very much a classic alpine, beautiful, traditional chalet. But then inside you have a lot of quirky detail.
I think that's exactly what lots of my buyers are looking for, especially if they're buying a new build property. It can feel with some of the developers that there's lots of them look the same, and they're really trying to put their own stamp on. And I suppose that's where you come in.
That is very much what I love about the work that I can do, but also I really see an opportunity with alpine mountain properties. There's a lot of potential for improving lighting, and always bedrooms and bathrooms, kitchens, and then just adding art and beautiful textiles and fabrics, window treatments.
And when you're doing, or when you're looking at these projects, would you only do a full renovation of a property, or would you look at renovating just the bedrooms and bathrooms, or just the spa area?
So we've done other projects in mountain properties, and it we, as a general rule, my studio, we work on, different scales of projects. And it's possible. Yes, we have done furnishings where we didn't have to do build. We just furnished the whole property, with modern furniture or added lighting or did a few joinery pieces. It really varies. So we're very open to talking with, your clients or owners, what they want to achieve. And often these things happen over a number of years. I mean, realistically, these things take time. And especially when you own, a holiday home, you want to be able to enjoy the ski season or the winter season, especially. And so what is achievable in 1 year, which is not a full year, is limited. And so that was also the case in this particular project. We actually worked over 3 seasons. So we staggered the project. I mean, you cannot achieve on a house that you also want to be using. So the first step was we furnished the property. So we bought furniture, we changed all the beds, we bought some lights, we bought new sofas, accessories, and we styled and furnished the property to make it really livable and comfortable for the first season. And then we took a lot of time planning, and the owners were also then experiencing what actually is missing, what's wrong with it, what do we need to do? And we were coming up with ideas how to build the extension. And you come back the following year. And that's how this worked. Actually, we took out the furniture that we bought, put it in storage, and we've got great local partners that we work with. And then we had found a big building contractor, and we did the first phase. And in the first phase, we started doing some building works, and we did a test run of some bathroom and bedroom improvements and joinery builds. We started building the extension, but that was impossible to finish in 1 season. So they put in a temporary closure, again, put everything back again. Clients were using the house for the ski season, which is, after all, a third, sort of a quarter of the year, really.
Yeah.
And then by then we had finished all the design, all the details to do everything for the rest of the house. And then everything came out again. And we then went in, and we only had 8 months to do a massive job, of changing all the bedrooms, bathrooms, kitchens. So yeah, you are really up against really tight timelines in mountain projects, which I find really great, because everyone is super focused. There's no excuse, on other projects. There is like, oh, okay, if a client doesn't make a decision or if a builder can't turn up. But here, I mean, in mountain projects, I love them because everyone is super focused. You've got to make the decision. You've got to place your orders. Everyone's working to a deadline. And generally, the contractors you work with in the mountains, they know that it's their bread and butter. So they will pull out all the stops to get.
Well, they all go back to their normal job, ski instructing, lift attending, everything else. So they've all got different things to go to as well. It's great to see that you found a solution for them to be able to use it each season.
Yes, it depends on what it is, really the client's prerogative to decide how they want to run their project. And because of the building rules in villages like Val d'Isère, the big noisy works aren't allowed to be going on in the winter anyway.
No.
So while you could be doing internal works, some work cannot happen because of the noise and the cranes and things like that. So there's a lot of planning involved. I mean, what I would say with any project, right, but these kinds of chalet projects in particular, is planning. The design phase is so important to have everything agreed and decided before you actually rock up on site and start taking things apart.
No, that's I can totally see that and see it's all in the planning. And then I suppose practically, I mean, so I get approached a lot by interior designers that want to work in alpine properties. And the struggle for me is that it is, I think it's really specialist alpine properties and building and renovating and designing up a mountain. And so I suppose I'd like to hear practically from you how you do it and your team, how do you find your team? And
So, I mean, it's very helpful to have some good local contacts like you, Tess. So, you know the local market, and it's very helpful for me to be involved early on. So I know the agent, and we work together now, and I can ask you for local recommendations. I can check references with you. We always check references for the people we work with. And so you have a good idea of who operates in your market. And I like very much working closely with people. So working with you is really helpful because we can share ideas, we can share contacts, and
It's
I
really
can
been
check
that,
with
hasn't
you
it? It's
who
that
is
collaboration of
good.
sharing each other's contacts, which is kind of invaluable to the client.
Absolutely. I mean, it's based on trust, and I trust you, and I know how you've worked with these clients for many years, and I've seen how you operate and how you serve your clients. And so if I ask for a recommendation, it's very valuable.
For me, it's all about the long game, and it sounds the same with you. One, the projects can be long. Same with me when I'm buying or selling property, it can take a long time. But then also, I'm not going anywhere. I'm right. I'm right here, and I like to follow it through because there might be something else that I can help with. And it seems that you're very similar with your clients.
Yes, we have, for me, establishing trust with people and making clients happy in the long run is the most important part of the project. And, trust is hard earned and easily lost. So we work, very diligently to take things seriously, take references. We work with, honesty and reliable, and we're very reliable to bring a project to a close. And it can take time.
Yeah. And I like the idea that as well, that you might finish one project, but for the same client do another house, either in the same country or even another country. And I'm guessing, well, I don't know. I'm interested. Do the clients like the same look in multiple houses, or do they like totally di if it's a totally different house, and do they want it totally different, even though they're the same family?
Yeah, I don't think we ever create two projects that could be said to be looking the same. So when you look at my work, my website, it doesn't look the same. And projects in London, in Switzerland, in France, and Germany, there might be little tiny elements that could be said to be similar, but it never has the same look. And I have some ingredients, I would say, that are always important: lighting, joinery, and space planning, and really paying attention to the details. So
Mm.
it's more of a process that I bring to every project that's the same. And that process is this really meticulous space planning, trying to make sure that everything is optimally designed. The flow of a room, where the doors and windows are, where the storage is planned, how a bathroom functions, how a bedroom functions, how a kitchen is laid out. Um, they can look totally different, but they function in the same way, and that they're really optimally planned.
You listen, and it's the client's style, it's the client's vision, but maybe they can't plan it, and they need your help with all the colors and all the design, but they know what they like normally, don't they?
Exactly. And we do ask people to give us a mood board. So if it's someone that I haven't worked with before, we have a certain process of, onboarding clients with a questionnaire and a mood board sort of template where we ask people to give us pictures,
Mm.
so they do need to do a little bit of homework and show us, pictures of maybe a hotel they've stayed in, a house they've liked, um, rip out some things from magazines or whatever, and tell us what do you like about it, and then I can build an understanding, and then I know, right, these are the kind of materials, these are the colors, this is the type of furniture, and then I will look at the house, listen to the client, how they want to live, and then I bring in, my 20 years of experience.
So this project, I think, well, you can tell me, but from my point of view, I just could see that you and I worked in a very similar way. We love skiing. We understand the area. we're in it for the long game, and really about building relationships. And so I think that's probably why we gelled so quickly. But can you see any other areas that we might be able to work together in the future?
Well, it would be wonderful if we could find, a project that we can collaborate on. I offer clients to come out and help them with sort of space planning or property selection advice almost. I've done this on, numerous occasions where I will visit properties with an agent and a client, and we can actually talk through together while they're choosing a property. While if they have to make a decision between several properties, to talk about, okay, what's the advantage and disadvantage? How do you want to live? What can you do with this house? What do I think from an interior designer, interior architect perspective? Which one do I think has the best potential?
Mm.
Or what do I see has been done better in a house, that would allow more flexibility? So I think helping your clients to actually make a decision as early as which project to purchase, I think that could be a great way of collaborating. And the other point of collaboration, I think, is when people buy off plan.
Mm.
They're very excited to buy something off, that's going to be newly built, and you see beautiful visuals maybe that have been made from the company who's building the properties, but then you have to think about how you are going to use the space. And
Yeah.
if it's early enough, there might be changes you can ask for. They might involve extra costs, but it would be worth doing that before you get something handed that's built that you then have to change.
Yeah, normally we have, if you're right at the beginning of a project, then you're 2 years before delivery. And then even if you buy when there's only 1 year to delivery, for interior design, we can normally make changes and accommodate the new buyers. Yeah.
But this is such a great
And
opportunity.
to have that another expert eye go over the plans and with you, again, is kind of invaluable, right?
Yeah. And I love that process, because that you have the builder already, and that the space is somewhat already configured, but you have the opportunity to make changes. What
Yeah.
a brilliant situation is that? It's amazing, because the shape, you have everything in place, in terms of the contractors and so on, but you have that one opportunity, crucial opportunity, to make changes. So I think if anything, I think it would be great for people who buy new builds to bring someone on for interiors, even just to do furniture layouts and discuss the finishes, but really discuss the lighting and electric plans,
Yeah,
because those are very hard to change later.
that's very true. Oh, thank you. I've really enjoyed chatting to you. It's been very insightful.
It's so nice to see you, and I hope you have a great sort of start of the ski season
Yeah,
over
thank you. I
there.
look forward. Hopefully, we'll get a ski together, maybe.
That'd be wonderful.
Perfect.
All
All
right.
right. Well, have a lovely weekend.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.